Alright, in this tutorial I wanted to show you a feature that a lot of IDEs have built in that is very useful. Uh, it's the ability to auto-generate or stub out a function or a method for you. So I've got an empty main here. Let's say you have something looks like this. So here I've got I'm making a method call, get val. It's not defined anywhere. IDE sees that as an error. It won't let me compile it or run it. But if I mouse over it, you get the error and it says one quick fix available, create method. You click that and it automatically generates this block of code for you. Cool thing about this is that it knows that it needs to return a integer, so it declared it as a method that returns int, named right. It didn't have any parameters, so it didn't include any of those. But now with that, just by that one click, now you could run this and doesn't do anything, but it compiles and runs. So I'll show you how that works. Like if you have parameters as well, we'll just do basically the same thing too here. Let's say this takes val. And here again, I try to run this, can't. There's an error because this function's not defined. Mouse over it to get the error, and then select the quick fix. And there's another function. This time, also a return type of int, but it's also got the variable, the input parameter. And as you can see too, both of these functions just by default return 0. Idea is you're going to come into these functions and actually define them, but just to get things to compile, you can just do that real quick. And a lot of times, and it's a real world application where you're given code, but not everything. Get an assignment and you're given starter code with calls to certain functions that aren't there. Your first step should always be just getting the code to compile. Don't worry about actually making sure the functions do the right thing. Just get it to compile first. That way, as you're coding, when you introduce a bug or an error, you know right away. This also works with classes. Let me switch over to my polymorphism example. Here we have a couple classes. Just for fun, let's look at the square class. We just have a constructor and a get length method. But let's say on the square, let's do the same kind of thing here. I want to show you how that you can stub out a member to a method. So we call, let's say, let's kind of do what we did before, int. Where dot, now it doesn't, let's make up something, get sharpness or something. Let's just give it a boolean. Okay, so here I have a class, an instance of class square. I'm calling a dot get sharpness, passing it a true. That is not defined anywhere. IDE sees that as an error. Mouse over it. Two quick fixes it's pointing out. I can either create the method or I can add a cast. What we want to do is create the method. Now when I do this, if you scroll down here now to the square class, in the appropriate place there is a new method I'll get sharpness, return type int, and it takes a Boolean. So pretty slick even with classes. This works great even if the classes are in different files like they're supposed to be. Do watch out the public-private access sometimes is a little not what you want, but you can fix that real easily. And immediately it'll get your code to compile. See if I run this now, polymorph runs, no problem.